It's his birthday and he's chilling in his room. There's a cake sitting on the table and video game posters on the wall, definitely his spot. The knife cuts right through the cake, and inside there's this creamy layer with red berries showing up. He grabs a bite, and just by looking at him, you can tell it tastes terrible. He's straight up done with the cake and just tosses it right in the trash. That thing set him back 29 yuan, and honestly, he's thinking he should just saved it for some pulls instead. Right then, he glances at his phone and notices a post where someone is saying thanks for a birthday cake. He looks at the screen, thinking how cool it'd be if someone genuinely had his back. He leans back in his chair looking pretty down. All he wants is for Jet to just say, "Get well soon," when he's not feeling great. Out of nowhere, his head starts spinning and he drops to the floor, burning up. Lying there, he just wishes someone was around to help with something so basic, but he's stuck dealing with it solo. Out of nowhere, he catches this weird sound, and some guy starts yelling for help, sounding totally freaked out. Out of nowhere, this massive mouth packed with razor-sharp teeth shows up, and just seeing how huge the creature is totally throws him off. Just then, a girl with dark hair pulled back into a ponytail walked in. Out of nowhere, the main guy finds himself with white hair, getting chased down by some weird monster. Just when things look bad, this insane red lightning comes out of the sky and fries the creature. Red energy wraps around the beast, breaking it down piece by piece. It looks like the creature can't handle it and is basically falling apart right there. The golden staff dropped right in the middle of the blast, and the creature's hands started fading away. He just stands there totally stunned, trying to figure out what he just saw. He was starting to wonder if he just got, and then out of nowhere, some girl's voice called his name. She walks over to where he's down on the ground and says his name, closing the gap between them. She's seriously ticked off, her eyes locked on him as she yells out the end of his name, P. Out of nowhere, she just swings and nails him, letting him have it for messing around like he owns the place in some crazy zone. Right then, the dude gets launched across the snow while the girl just looks at him, probably wondering if he's trying to get himself hurt. He's on the ground hurting and it finally clicks for him. His name now is. Right away, it hits him. This is exactly like those wild stories he's seen before. Somehow, he's not in his own world anymore. He's landed on the Star Marshall continent, and the whole place is lit up with this cool blue vibe everywhere. In this world, the wildest thing is these portals that open up to other dimensions, packed with all kinds of crazy creatures you'd never see anywhere else. Other than monsters, something called comes pouring out of these portals too, and nobody really gets what it is yet. Because of this, some people suddenly start seeing this power for what it really is, and they basically get awakened. For awakened people, how strong they could get basically depended on how many star slots showed up on their map. Right now, he's taking over Spotty, and honestly, it's not even special, just a weak awakened with barely 9 star slots. The girl with dark hair calls out to him again. He spots her and instantly knows it's Han Jiangsu, his stepsister. She's kind of a legend, dude. She's got 30 star slots, so everyone acts like she's the chosen one. His sister pulls him up out of the snow while he grumbles about how cold it is, and then someone starts walking toward them. Out of nowhere, a girl's voice called out, saying she'd spotted them. She hurries over to check on, hoping everything's all right. She wraps her arms around her friend, and that's when it hits him. She's the girl with those 28 star slots. Glances over at him and playfully hits him with the nickname Little Pie Pie. She calls him out for messing around where he shouldn't, and he just stands there, a little red-faced, admitting he messed up. The girl lets him know his sister was super stressed out, and he tells her he won't mess up like that again. He gets it now. His sister dragged him out here so he could get some real training in. The dude who had this body before started acting all full of himself after getting his powers, and that clearly didn't end well. He got separated during a hunt and ended up getting chased by 2 monsters. Just when things were looking bad, Han Jiangsu showed up and had his back. The second the MC picks up on something weird, he just freezes right where he is. He suddenly remembers his sister only took down one of the monsters that were after him. Out of nowhere, a second white monster shows up right in front of the group. This one's got a vibe that says it's not here to play nice. The creature pops up out of nowhere and he's instantly freaked out. The beast suddenly charges and he shouts, trying to warn everyone to stay sharp. His sister yanked him down fast so they could duck out of the way, and she ended up right on top of him. He started blushing, not sure where to look. His face goes bright red when he realizes how close he is to his sister. The older sister powered up, forming sharp energy claws from her hands and went straight at the beast. Neat Wind doesn't hold back. She goes all in with a heavy hit straight at the white-furred monster. She calls out for her friend, hoping she'll jump in and help her out during the fight. The brown-haired girl just shoots a confident smile, showing she's totally got what they're saying. She activates Burning Flame, and just like that, her sword gets covered in flames. She charges up and launches her giant flaming sword straight at the creature, putting everything she's got into the swing. The attack smacks the snow monster right on target, making it howl from how much it hurts. The hit lands hard, but the creature's tough skin just eats it up. The hit lands so hard, the beast gets launched backward like it just got smacked by a truck. She drops into the snow, not really expecting the enemy to push back that hard. She looks at the monster and grins, thinking how tough its skin is, and realizing this one's way higher level than most. The white creature from stared her down, its eyes burning bright red. She's not even fazed and starts messing with it, acting like it's got nothing on her. Her weapon lit up, glowing bright red and letting everyone know it packs some serious power. The brown-haired girl locked in and slammed her weapon into the beast, landing a solid hit. Blood started coming out. The monster drops to the ground hard from the hit, totally wiped out and not getting back up anytime soon. He watches as the two take down the creature with only 2 hits, kind of amazed at how fast they handled it. His cheeks turned red as he realized just how strong an Awaken really is. After the crazy fight wraps up, the brown-haired girl finally relaxes. She takes a deep breath, glad it's all done. She looks over at her friend and throws up a quick fist bump, hyped about how smooth they work together. She didn't expect to find the guy still hanging onto his sister, just chilling there in her arms. She gets jealous and steps in, making sure they stop acting all close like siblings. His older sister let him know they couldn't stick around. If they stayed, that blood was basically a beacon for more monsters, so it was time to bounce. He thinks back to the star beads inside those creatures, knowing that's where their powers are stored. He figures out that the moves he pulled off during the fight actually came from those beads he picked up. The brown-haired girl looks at him like he's hopeless in school and waves him over. She plans to show him how to check out the creatures, so he won't end up failing the test and making his sister mad. She holds up a blue bead and points out that no matter what kind of creature it is, you'll always find the item in the same spot. He wonders if it's all in his head, and she nods, basically saying there's still hope for him. The brown-haired girl points out that Lin's skulls are seriously tough, so you need something sharp to even make a dent. She points out that if you want to get the item out, you've got to figure out the right angle. She grinned and jammed the dagger right into the monster's head, digging in hard to force it open. The blade pushes straight down into the creature's head, digging around for the star bead hidden inside. She shoves her hand right into the monster's head and starts digging around in its brain like she's searching for something important. She checked everything but nothing stood out. This snow didn't have anything special going on. She passes the dagger over to the guy and points him toward the next monster, basically telling him it's his turn to give it a shot. He realized he'd gone his whole 25 years without ever having to clean a fish, and now suddenly it was all on him. But then he remembers just how wild this world really is. He nearly got wiped out the second he showed up. He gets himself together, fully aware that if he messes this up, he's done for. She cut both of the snow coolants, but there wasn't a star bead in either one. She lets him know these beads are super hard to come by, and honestly, any Awaken needs serious skill plus a lucky break to even spot one. The guy covers his mouth, looking like he might throw up, but he gets what just happened. His sister checks on him, trying to see if he's alright, but she can't help noticing he suddenly seems a lot more grown up than before. She rests her chin on her hand, thinking about whether he started acting different after she slapped him. His sister calls out his name and he turns around in the snow, looking dead serious. She passes him a star bead, saying it came from a white gold and that he should take it in. The guy can't take his eyes off the crazy blue light coming from the thing he's holding. He figures that with just 9 slots, he's stuck with only 9 moves for his whole life. He doesn't wait around, he jumps right in and starts pulling energy from the blue. Energy starts building up around him, covering his whole body as he powers up. Out of nowhere, he finds himself in an unfamiliar spot and starts trying to figure out what's going on. His info pops up on the screen, and he starts wondering what's up with that star map he's seeing in his head. He realizes he's actually inside his own mind right now, and it clicks that he could have more than one star map in here. As he's checking out what's going on, a detection alert pops up right in front of him. On the screen, it pops up that the item comes with 2 different techniques. It's asking him if he wants to go ahead and merge them into his own. He can't believe it. He just figured out he can combine 2 different moves into 1 star slot. He jumps right in and takes the merge, not even thinking twice since nobody else out there has this kind of power. He makes up his mind and right then the star bead just breaks apart, sending its energy out everywhere. His sister wanted to know if he picked up any new star moves lately. Right before he gets a chance to say anything, lets him know there's some serious trouble coming straight at them. Everyone in the group stiffens when their buddy lets them know a hunting squad is heading their way. Right at that moment, another squad in uniforms rolled up. One of them let everyone know that a different team already got into the before they did. One of the guys on the squad remembers walking by a wiped-out clan earlier and starts wondering if that was the same crew. Their captain can't help but think their luck totally tanked. No young ones around, no beads, nothing to show for it. He's also stressing about what the family head's gonna say. The leader smirked, clearly up to something, and signaled his crew to keep looking for the young shamans. He points out that if they bump into the other team, they'll just grab their star beads and keep moving. The enemy squad checks out the monster they just took down, then keeps it moving. The team heads out, their footprints trailing behind them in the fresh mountain snow. While all this was going down, the group posted up behind a tree, trying not to get spotted. He can't figure out why everyone's scrambling for those gold shaman younglings and their beads. Points out that gold shamans are super rare, way harder to find than the usual white gulls everyone talks about. She also lets it slip that in a whole crew of white gulls, you'll only ever find 1 shaman max. On top of everything else, their beads actually have healing moves built in, and those are the hardest ones to find. He can't believe it when he finds out a shaman bead goes for $200,000, but the regular ones are actually priced at $500,000. His sister tells him to watch out not just for weird creatures but for other people too, since you never know who might show up in that wild space. She lets it slip that awakened people have these beads too, and their star force is actually way stronger than what the creatures have. Right then he gets it, other people might come after him if they want to get stronger, so he's gotta stay ready. He's pretty down, finally getting why they were hiding out, and still can't wrap his head around the fact that he landed himself somewhere this risky. Right then his sister gives his head a light pat, letting him know it's time to dip out of there. As the sky started getting darker, the girl realized their star force was running out, so she knew it was time for them to head back to base. They start heading back, moving through the snow with every step leaving tracks behind them. Snow just keeps coming down as the three awakened guys make their way across the freezing landscape. His older sister picks up on how quiet he is, and starts thinking maybe it's got something to do with him not landing a technique. She tries to calm him down, letting him know he doesn't have to stress so hard about it. He just smiles and says he's honestly stunned by how harsh things are in this world. They kept moving along the side of the mountain, pushing through non-stop snow. Out of nowhere, something started pushing up from under the snow, moving slow and looking super sketchy. Out of nowhere, a white gull with these crazy sharp teeth popped up from the snow right in front of them. The group looked up and realized they were surrounded. White gulls popped up everywhere, coming in from every direction. It was like the birds just spawned out of nowhere, locking them in. The creatures glare at the group, eyes lit up and faces full of anger. The three of them get ready, standing back to back as monsters close in all around them in the freezing snow. Starts counting and suddenly realizes there are 16 white gulls in front of her. She looks at them, kind of thrown off, not really sure how there got to be that many. The older sister thinks it's weird because these creatures normally keep to themselves and never roll in groups. She figures out there's gotta be a shaman in the clan, and the main guy is honestly surprised since that's not something you see every day. Her friend S not used to seeing them plan big moves like this against people, so he's definitely on edge. Right then the monsters rush straight at the group, ready to start the fight. One of the white gulls goes off, showing its sharp teeth and trying hard to scare everyone off. She didn't waste any time. The brown-haired girl lifted her sword and flames just shot up around it. She fires up her burning flame power and just lets loose, sending a massive blast of fire straight at the monsters. The fire blast slams straight into one of the monsters, knocking it back hard. At the same time, his sister steps up to cover him, pulling out her desolate wind move to go after the horde. Right after that, she gets ready to use her shattered void move, red energy building up in her hand. She swings hard, blasting the monsters ahead and setting off a huge burst of energy that lights up everything around. One of the creatures slips through and rushes straight at him before he even has time to react. The creature charges at him, claws out, ready to go straight for the attack while he's got nothing to defend himself. Right then the older sister locks eyes with him, her stare showing she's dead set on whatever she's about to do. She doesn't even hesitate, she just jumps in front of him, taking the hit herself to keep him safe. The monster swings its claws and rips into her back, leaving her badly hurt while everyone watches. Both of them get slammed so hard they go flying, rolling down the side of the mountain. Their friend spots what's happening and totally freaks out, yelling for without even thinking. He crashes down into the snow, his sister knocked out and lying right on top of him, and he's just stuck there, totally clueless about what to do next. Blood starts to color the snow right in front of him and he just freezes. Seeing her like that throws him off big time. She's just lying there in the snow, not moving at all. The guy freaks out, yelling her name, hoping she'll wake up. But then he suddenly remembers that new move he unlocked, Blessing. He doesn't even pause and just uses his power on his sister. Right away, this soft light wraps around her, almost like she's getting pulled into something safe. She wakes up, her dark hair a mess, totally thrown off by this weird feeling she can't figure out. She notices her body getting super light, almost like she's just drifting through space, surrounded by all these stars. Her back started itching like crazy as it healed up way faster than usual, thanks to her new power. She feels warmth all over, like she just dropped into a chill hot spring. Her eyes go wide as this new feeling runs through her, catching her totally off guard. Her cheeks suddenly go bright red, and she starts saying how she's overheating everywhere. Her whole body felt warm and she just stayed flat on her back, making this really awkward face thanks to the healing spell. He's straight up lost, not getting why she acted like that, and his brain is just stuck on what's happening right now. He's caught up in his own world, not noticing these massive creatures sneaking up behind them. Out of nowhere, three of those creatures rushed straight at the main guy and the girl. Her eyes lit up with this blue energy, and all of a sudden her face got super serious. She jumps up fast with this blue glow kind of lighting her up. RMC just stands there totally stunned as the girl's energy fills the whole room. Right after that, she pulls up her star map and it lights up with this bold golden glow. The girl reaches out her hand, building up a ton of red energy, ready to launch a serious attack. Out of nowhere, a wild blast of energy fires straight at one of the white phantoms and nails it right on target. She just stood there, face totally blank, after dropping that insane hit on the monster. The power just goes off, blasting through and taking out one of those nightmare monsters like it's nothing. Right after his first takedown, a system window pops up and lets him know he just a skill point. The guy didn't see this coming at all and starts thinking about what this whole new skill point thing even means. Right then their friend sprinted over, clearly relieved that the other girl was all good. The older girl starts charging up power in her hand and signals her friend to lock in on the enemy. Right then fire started blasting out from her hand. She fires off her blazing attack and nails one of the white monsters straight on. The hit lands hard, launching the creature straight into the air before it crashes and rolls across the snow. His sister, clearly worried, points out that their power's not unlimited, and if they want a shot at winning, the shaman has to be their first target. Right in the center of the crowd, the shaman shows up, holding his staff, with a bunch of other creatures all around him. Shaman shows its sharp teeth, looking like it's about to keep going after him. It starts using its blessing power to help out the rest of the squad. One of the hurt monsters suddenly gets wrapped up in this blue glow, and everyone watches as it starts healing up right in front of them. The creature's body snaps back to normal in seconds, all patched up by the healing magic. RMC notices the shaman is actually taking care of everyone, helping them get better. He calls out to his sister, wanting her to hit him with her wind powers and launch him up high. She listens and lifts her hand, ready to use her wind powers. A wild gust of wind kicked up around him out of nowhere and just blasted him straight up into the air. Now flying through the air, the guy quickly searches the crowd of monsters, trying to spot the shaman. He locks his eyes on the people below, zeroing in and ready for whatever comes next. He finally sees the shaman standing out in the snow with two guards. He calls out, letting everyone know he's found them. The MC calls out where the shaman is, letting everyone know she's about 200 meters away so they can help her. She nods, locks in, and digs her shoes into the snow, ready to take off. The young woman locks in, eyes set straight ahead, and bolts full speed the way the MC showed her. The MC jumps right into action, sprinting over to join the squad for the attack. At the same time, their friend pushes forward through the snow, sword in hand, not letting anything slow her down. The brown-haired girl charges forward, shouting as flames explode all around her, her whole body surrounded by fire. She lets loose her flames, sending a wild burst of fire rolling straight across the mountain. The blast from the flames goes off so hard that even the shaman catches it way off in the distance. Turns out the girl was just there to throw them off. She was basically a decoy, set up to keep their attention while something else went down. The motor MC zoned in on the real target and just launched himself at him, locked in like he had it all planned out. The shaman just watches as the young guy walks up, totally chill and not looking scared at all. The monster and its guards suddenly whipped around and rushed straight at the MC, ready to throw hands. When the creatures rushed at him, the girls totally lost it and started yelling his name, hoping he'd be okay. While still up in the air, the main guy throws up his arms to block the creature's hit, trying to keep himself from getting wrecked. MC doesn't waste any time and pulls out his move right away. His friend just stood there totally frozen as it hit him that he'd just seen the exact move the shaman used, and now it was coming from his own buddy. His sister can't figure out what's going on either, and she's just sitting there trying to wrap her head around how any of this even makes sense. She suddenly remembers the move he picked up was actually just a buff spell. It wasn't some kind of spell-breaking power like what he just pulled off on that monster. Our boy just shoots the shaman a confident look, basically letting him know not to get ahead of himself. He stood behind the shaman, thinking to himself that she probably wasn't the only one who knew how to pull off a bait and switch. He takes down the monster, scores a point, and levels up his skills with a new dagger move. The shaman dropped into the snow and the last guard just stood there, watching everything go down. RMC stands his ground, staring down the last guard left, ready to end it right there. The last monster, totally pissed off, shows its teeth and lets out a loud roar, eyes lighting up. Our guy didn't see it coming. The creature just belayed, tail tucked, like it wanted nothing to do with him anymore. The MC lets out a breath, finally relaxing after that sketchy moment. She checks her weapon, making sure everything's good. Right then, his friends rushed over, checking if he was all right. His relative spots him and lets him know he's got some questions about what just went down. The MC just stands there, kind of uncomfortable, eyes darting away because he has no idea what to say back. He tells her they should wait until they're somewhere safe before talking about it. The group gets a fire going to beat the cold night, trying to stay warm out there. The guys sat around the fire and things just felt off between them. She looks over and points out that he's got 2-star abilities, with one being the kind that can heal people. He's just sitting there trying to figure out why she's acting like this. Shouldn't she be happy? It's got him second-guessing everything. His friend wonders if he really gets what it actually means to become a medic type after awakening. She lets him know that people who pick up on different moves usually end up getting way better skills. Combat types like her, they just don't vibe with those skills. She points out that out of every 100 awaken, maybe one turns out to be a healer. That's how rare it is. RMC lights up, thinking this has to be good news. He figures if that's true, he's gotta be worth a lot now. He He watches as his relative just stares back, totally not getting what's really going on. The girl flashes her badge and points out that teams have to be 4 people, and honestly, everyone's trying to get a medic on their squad. Even with just one move, they pretty much decide how long the team can hang in there, and if everyone makes it through. At that moment, the MC just freezes. It finally hits him how serious his new role is, and he kind of just stands there, taking it all in. The main character catches on that they're worried, but honestly, he knows he's got pretty low skills, so he figures nobody's going to come after him. He knows he's a rare type, so he's basically stuck with all the risky missions. His sister just nods, totally getting where he's coming from. She suddenly drops the news that she's planning to hit up school and try to be a doctor or work at a hospital. He just sits there, totally caught off guard. The MC just stands there, totally confused. He really thought he was about to level up to god status, but now looks like his future is just punching the clock at some clinic. The friend starts to get irritated, thinking the other girl's acting way too protective over the MC. His sister drops her gaze, acting like she gets where her friend is coming from, but she holds back for a second. The group goes quiet while the MC just watches his sister, not saying anything. The MC picks up on her worry and starts to get a bit uneasy about what's going on. He quickly steers the conversation away, mentioning he's just 16, and his friend nods, both of them basically agreeing that the future still feels super far away. The brown-haired girl grabbed her friend and pulled her to the side. She wanted to check how much money they made from the hunt. She reminds the MC to crash early since they've got more training lined up tomorrow. He can't help but grin, finally getting a taste of what it's like to have someone actually look out for him. It's a new vibe, and honestly, he's never felt this before. The night goes by quietly up on the snowy mountain. Out of nowhere, a weird sound cuts through the comm. Out of nowhere, a set of razor-sharp teeth pops up, letting everyone know things are definitely not safe yet. The main guy heads up to the front of their camp after his friend shouts for him. His friend tells him not to just go charging straight at it, and reminds him to think things through because he's got the brains to outsmart that beast. The MC steps up, ready to go head-to-head with this massive, white-furred beast. The thing just lets out a wild roar, looking like it's about to throw down. She tells him that if he can last 30 seconds, she'll hook him up with a hot cup of tea. The main character gets ready to fight, locking his eyes on the enemy and holding his weapon like he's not letting go for anything. The main character's just standing there when this huge monster lets out a crazy loud roar, basically right in his face. Right then, the creature just charges, claws out and looking deadly sharp. He stays locked in and sidesteps right as the beast swings, barely missing him. He clenched his jaw, taking the hit as a thin scratch showed up on his face. The creature towers over everything and gets ready to go at the hero again. The beast comes at him again, moving way faster than he expected. The MC throws up his arms just in time, blocking the white monster's heavy hit. Out of nowhere, blue energy burst out from him while the girls watch the fight from far back. While this is going on, the friend checks in with his sister to see if she's still annoyed about him taking the pearl. His sister lets him know she's stressing out since the hero's stuck with just 9 star slots. Her friend gets why she wants to stack those spots with rare skills, but he knows you gotta think about what it'll cost too. She keeps going, letting everyone know that for now, the main problem is going to be the white phantoms. Just like those two, the MC has to get used to this new star power if he wants any chance in the fight. Suddenly, a system window shows up on his screen, laying out all the details for this new move called Blue Flash. At that moment, he pulls out his new skill and goes up against the monster. His power kicks in hard, pushing him backwards, but he digs his feet in and holds his ground. He thinks back to earlier that day when he took in a star pearl from the White Phantom, all while keeping another pearl stashed in his hand so the monster wouldn't notice. Right then, he pulls up the system to see what he needs to level up his new skills. The panel shows how the techniques get powered up by using points, and these things called star pearls. He notices he's still got 2 skill points just waiting to be used. He starts thinking hard about how he can level up quick. He remembers that everyone else is stuck with the same skills, but his can just keep leveling up forever. On the screen, his moves get shown off, stuff like his new blue flash and how tough he's gotten. He figures out he needs to collect 10 bronze pearls if he wants to move up from bronze to silver. He wanted to get stronger, so he went straight for the pearl and started absorbing its power, no second thoughts, just locked in. A message popped up, letting him know the pearl was gone and his star power just leveled up. His blue flash and resistance moves just hit max for the bronze rank. Now both skills leveled up to silver, making him way stronger than before. The creature let out a huge roar, staring down at the protagonist, ready for the next round. The creature goes after the hero again, swinging its claws, trying to catch him. The star chart behind him lit up, shining way brighter than usual. His eyes lit up blue, and he locked in on the fight, putting all his attention on what was about to go down. His sister totally freaks out, yelling at him like he's lost it, and tells him to move so the monster can pass. The hero tightens his fist, locked in and ready to go all out. You can tell he's not backing down. He rushes straight ahead, this blue glow all around him, and just slams into the monster with everything he's got. He keeps his eyes glued to the enemy, his energy tearing straight through the snow like nothing can slow him down. He lands a heavy hit that launches the monster through the air, wrecking everything in its path. Down in the snow, the beast still looks wild, just staring the protagonist down like it's not backing off anytime soon. Out of nowhere, one of the girls chucked her flaming sword straight at the creature, ready to end it for good. Her fire attack slams down hard on the monster, hitting with crazy power. The creature finally goes down, totally wiped out, and just crashes into the snow with zero strength left. His sister calls out his name from across the way, clearly not okay with what's going on. His sister suddenly wants to check out the boy's star chart right away, eyeing him like she thinks something's up. He pulls up his chart, and now there are two bright stars shining right in the middle. He grinned, totally sure he could count on the girls, and finally let them in on what he'd been keeping to himself. He knows his power is wild, but he's cool with them since they're both going after the same goal. His friend glances down, clearly caught off guard, and just avoids eye contact, staying quiet. His sister just looks at him, totally serious, like she's trying to figure out what he just said. Nobody saw it coming when she looked at him, eyes kind of down, and said sorry. It caught him off guard. She actually seemed upset about it. She admits she kept something big from him too. He's totally thrown off when his sister suddenly says sorry. She lets him know the Void Breaker ability was actually something their parents meant for him all along. The hero wonders if that's the same power that takes down monsters, and thinks she doesn't have to say sorry for it. He admits she's just on another level, and honestly, he doubts he could have even handled the technique himself. His sister points out that over the past couple of days, the guy has managed to take in two seriously strong stars. She looked pretty down but kept pushing her point. Since it was a gold quality skill, he totally could have taken it in. He notices how she comes off as really mature, but deep down, she's actually more lost than he ever was before he got reincarnated. He knows she's putting him on a pedestal he doesn't deserve. His sister looked pretty caught off guard when she heard what the hero said. The hero goes on to break it down. How much star power you have basically sets a cap on what kind of skills you can pick up. Next, he admits that even if the power was right there for him, there's no way he'd actually pull it off. He lets everyone know he's stuck at the lowest rank, and using Blue Flash already wiped out half his energy. So if he went for right now, he'd just end up drained with nothing left in the tank. It'd be a total waste. Both girls paid close attention while he talked, really taking in what he had to say. It looked like they totally got where he was coming from. He gets why the person who had this body before wasn't strong, so she stepped up and got tougher to look out for him. His sister gets super emotional when she sees how much he gets it. She calls out to him, eyes tearing up like she can't hold it in anymore. He starts hyping himself up, acting like he's the only one actually using his brain, while the girls just roast him and call him clueless. Out of nowhere, his friend snatches him by the collar. She notices how much he's leveled up and wonders if his star skills are just going to keep getting better with no cap. He says he levels up when he trains with pearls, and honestly he hasn't hit a wall yet. He just feels like he's missing that extra power. She figures out that she can't just work on her skills and ignore her star power. They both gotta level up together if she wants to really make it. She let out a sigh, kinda bummed that she couldn't just drop her cash to boost his skills right away. The young woman stares straight at him, her eyes serious, like she's got something she really needs to get off her chest. His friend lets him know he can't just show off his talent at school. If he wants to make it, he'll need his own crew watching his back. He locks in on the advice, really paying attention. After that, he just throws it out there, maybe he should just join her squad right away. Both girls freeze when the proposal drops. They're totally thrown off and can't even react. He's lost, not sure why everyone's acting weird, and keeps replaying what he said in his head, trying to figure out where he messed up. They just stand there, not saying a word, both trying to wrap their heads around the hero wanting to team up with them. Out of nowhere, his friend lights up, realizing she totally spaced on something important. That night, the guys set up camp out in the snow, chilling under a sky full of stars. With a warm cup in her hands, the young woman pointed out again how his talent was kind of an issue. The guys are chilling by the campfire, and the friend starts talking about how the hero's skills are on another level. He says the hero's got what it takes to really make it big. The hero and his sister are locked in, paying close attention as everything gets explained. The girl comes up with an idea. She wants the main guys to jump right to the last year and link up with her crew. He just heard something wild, a proposal he never saw coming, and now he's totally thrown off. She lays it out, if he trains at the university, they can level him up with the squad, and having him around would make missions way less risky. She's totally confident that with how good they are, keeping him safe until graduation is no big deal. Everyone just says the high-level skill was passed down from his parents. His sister was down for the plan, and said they should level up the blessing skill to silver first. His rich friend said she was ready to drop $2 million on star pearls, just to make sure his skills got an upgrade. He can't help but get hyped thinking about whether he's got a shot at making the team, and he's curious if they've already picked who's in. He's got this big grin, knowing from now on he's officially part of the squad. He's still hyped from celebrating, but his friend lets him know it's not over yet. Turns out things are way more complicated than he thought. She lets him know there's a catch, her squad's already packed, no extra spots left. He just froze when he heard the news, not even able to process what was going on. The hero just stared, totally not believing what he was seeing. After everything he went through, he finds out the squad's already set. His friend tells him about this dude on the team, who's always trying to get with his sister. He's completely thrown off by all this new info and has no clue what's happening right now. She thinks the dude's got a trash attitude, always looking out for himself and acting like he's better than everyone else. While out on a mission in a different dimension, this dude nearly got one of his teammates killed. She lets him know that both their families were on another level, and since both sides were too proud, no one wanted to be the first to give in. When it was all over, she and the hero's sister ended up taking the hit from the whole mess, and after that the team just kind of broke down. She thinks his skills are gonna level up their squad, making the whole team a bit stronger. It's not your average healer, he's actually pretty rare, so he could easily step in and take over for one of the guys who keeps messing up. The girl, looking totally chill, lets it slip that she was actually planning to dip out of the team with from the start. Leaving wasn't an easy move, since finding two other solid teammates at school was pretty much impossible. Snow drifts down while the group keeps talking seriously, all huddled up by the fire that's keeping them warm. She lets everyone know the squad has been grinding as a team for 2 years straight, and now that exams are around the corner, nobody's trying to switch things up. She points out that she's talking about the big shots, not just regular teams. People notice how strong she and are, so a bunch of the weaker players are probably hoping to team up with them. She points out that if they bounce now, their parents in school would totally come down on them because of the rankings. His sister finally admits she's been keeping him out of the loop for a whole year, and she's honestly not sure how much longer she can keep doing it. She makes it clear that whatever happens, they're done working with that dude. She kept everyone on the squad, making sure nobody dipped. That way, when the main guy showed up out of nowhere, he could take down the rival and kick him out without anyone seeing it coming. The hero hears the plan and his whole vibe changes. He gets serious real quick, realizing this is a huge shot that just landed in front of him. She tells him not to stress about anything at school, she's got it all covered, so he can just jump right to his last year with zero issues. The campfire kept burning while the group locked in on a big decision. Both siblings just sit there not saying a word, stuck in their own heads about the offer. Meanwhile, their friend just hangs back, waiting to see what they'll say. The hero's sister definitely looks stressed, seeing how much her brother is dealing with right now. She stands up, looks at him, and lets him know he doesn't have to stress about it. She's basically telling him to chill and not worry so much. His friend nodded, saying he'd just grown up a bit and there's no need to hurry anything. He decides he's gonna give it a shot, not just for everyone else, but because he needs to make it in this world. His sister didn't see this coming at all. She could tell he was locked in and way more grown up than she expected. He's all in, he knows what he wants and isn't hesitating. He's set on joining their squad, no second thoughts. The girl watched her brother and couldn't help but feel proud. Just seeing the way he handled things made her chest tighten up. She was honestly impressed. She called out his name, feeling that boost of pride hit her all at once. A whole week goes by and the spot's still buried under snow. Down on the ground, there's another snow creature just chilling there. The creature's hurt and bright red blood is splattered all over the snow. He's standing over the beast he just took down, and right then, a notification pops up. His dagger skills just leveled up. He grinned, pumped that he finally soloed a white phantom and leveled up. His friend was chilling close by, keeping an eye on him and honestly looking pretty impressed at how far the hero had come. She stood there freezing but still managed to hype him up, tossing out a playful comment about wishing he could use his star power to help her warm up. The hero gets a little thrown off and tries to explain that his skill is all about healing people, not heating stuff up like she assumed. He still decides to use his power on her, and suddenly she's surrounded by this warm gold light. She looks completely at ease, like she's really into it and just vibing. It's clear she's super comfortable and enjoying every second. The protagonist stands next to his sister, both of them just staring, not really sure what to think. His sister let him know they only had a week left before school started up again, and it was time to pack up and head out. The hero throws up a quick salute, showing he's all set and already has the message lined up for whatever's about to go down. Out of nowhere, this massive blue energy blast ripped through the air, moving crazy fast. The strike slams into the ground close to them, shaking everything around and catching everyone totally off guard. His sister's eyes went wide. She stared up at the sky, trying to figure out what just showed up out of nowhere. She spots the flare and instantly knows someone is in trouble. She tells everyone to stay sharp and be ready, just in case something goes down. He looked locked in, thinking hard about whether they should go see what was up. His sister steps in and tells him the signal was actually for the Guardian squad in the area. She looks dead serious and lets them know the signal means the place isn't safe. They need to bounce. At the same time, a crew of explorers is straight up booking it, trying to get away from a swarm of massive white monsters chasing them down. One guy sprinting like he's late for something important, clutching something tight against his chest. The older sister quickly calls out, letting everyone know they need to hide right now since something dangerous is coming right at them. Right then, one of the explorers let his captain know the creatures were still on their tail, and there was no way to lose them. One guy in the group totally loses it, stressing that they're all doomed before the Guardians even make an appearance. The leader looks really tense, like the whole thing is weighing on him. He gets ready to use his fire skill, and a tiny ball of energy starts showing up right on his fingertip. The captain let loose a wild burst of fire, but it turned out he was aiming straight at one of his own guys. The guy who got blasted by the fire just froze, totally lost and looking around for his leader, clearly not sure what just happened. The captain just grinned, already thinking about telling everyone the guy went out like a hero in battle. Now he's stuck, totally surrounded by these wild white monsters, and there's no way out. He's stranded, watching as things go downhill fast and it hits him. There's no way out. Panic kicks in as he realizes what's about to happen. He stretches out his hand, watching his old teammates take off without him, leaving him behind to face everything alone. Huge white furry beasts started moving in on the guy, getting closer with every step. The main crew is posted up behind a rock, keeping out of sight while they watch everything go down from a distance. RMC can't believe how many there are. It's like a whole squad of ghosts just pulled up, marching by like it's some kind of haunted parade. His older sister spots the guys and instantly knows who they are. She gets mad, realizing it's the same crew they ran into before. The explorer leader grabs the shaman cub, kind of showing everyone why things got so wild in the first place. After hearing that, he turned to his older sister, wanting to know what their next move should be. She tells him to chill for a sec, thinking there's gotta be two shaman clans hanging out here. Two shamans wearing red robes show up, sliding down the snowy mountain like they're on a mission. The sister suddenly gets it. They can't move forward without grabbing the star pearls from these white shamans. She thinks this is their shot, something that probably won't come around again, so there's no way they're letting it slip by. Right then she calls out to, telling her to jump in and help. Suddenly jumps out and goes straight for one of the shaman monsters, trying to catch it off guard. While she goes in and takes down one of the creatures, the main guy hits another one with his blue flash move at the same time. The attack doesn't land, and their friend takes a hard hit that launches her straight into a tree. She suddenly screams out in pain after taking a hard hit, the impact really getting to her. When he saw his friend get hurt, the guy instantly called out her name, desperate to help. He doesn't even pause. He just grabs a red crystal and smashes it in his hand, ready to use one of his skills. He taps into his blessing and this red energy shoots out, heading straight for his hurt teammate. She goes bright red and makes this awkward noise when the healing magic hits her. His friend's face was lit up, cheeks red, looking like she was on cloud 9. She just told him it was the best feeling ever. While she's caught off guard, one of the monsters spots an opening and just bolts right at her. She just brushes it off, grinning like she's hyped, and throws down a challenge for the creature to fight her. She bolts ahead, her sword lit up with flames, leaving fire streaks behind her in the snow. The main guy can't believe what he's seeing and thinks his sister's lost it, but she just grumbles about him wasting electricity. He flashes an awkward smile, thinking his blessing might have hit a little too perfectly for her. His sister starts talking about how having a healer around made her think she could get away with anything. She's been acting way too bold, not really worrying about getting hurt because she figured someone would always fix things. Since that happened, she tells them their friend isn't reliable right now, so she'll take charge and draw the ghost shaman over herself. The older sister wanted the MC to keep an eye out for her while she got ready. Right then, one of those white creatures let out a loud roar and sprinted straight at him, totally wild. The beast steps right up to him, baring its sharp teeth and messing with him, flexing some kind of taunting move. He's standing right in front of the monster now, but he doesn't flinch. He just gets ready, locked in for whatever's coming next. He goes all in and drives his blade straight into the creature's head, not holding back at all. As soon as he's standing over the monster he just took down, his eyes start glowing. Suddenly, a system alert shows up and lets him know he just scored an extra skill point. He can't figure out why he keeps racking up rewards when it's really his teammates landing all the big plays. While his friend was still freezing, she looked over at him, hoping he'd use that blessing again to help her warm up. He shouts that he's not some vending machine, and honestly, his energy's just about done. Right then, one of the shaman creatures suddenly sped up, like it just powered up out of nowhere. Right then, the white monster bolts off, tearing down mountain like it's running for its life. The moment he notices the creature slipping away, he can't help himself. He just starts shouting, hoping someone will catch it before it's gone. His buddy, the one rocking the flaming sword, pretty much knows they're stuck. There's no chance they're escaping her. She tries to make a run for it, but her foot catches on a rock and she eats it, falling straight to the ground. She wiped out face first into the snow, and our guy just stood there, totally frozen. The older sister was annoyed that her wild wind attack almost landed, but the monster dodged it at the last second. The shaman just takes off, picking up speed and leaving everyone else behind. Now the main guy starts brainstorming how he can stall these creatures. He thinks back to when his older sister told him his blessing wasn't like everybody else's. Using the skill always left everyone super comfortable. He suddenly remembers how his friend acted all weird after she got healed, and that gives him an idea. He catches himself smirking, already planning how he could use this to his advantage. He thinks it's time to switch things up, so he takes his blessing and fires it straight at the creature, trying something totally different. The monster takes the hit from the pink energy, and its eyes go wide like it totally wasn't ready for that. Suddenly the beast pulls the weirdest face, its skin going bright red, and little hearts just start popping up around it. The other shaman just stands there totally lost, having no clue why its partner is acting like that. Right then the older sister spots her chance and gets ready to make her move. Power blasts both monsters with this wild blue and red energy that just tears through them. After the fight, she just stands there looking around like she already knew she had it in the bag. You can tell by her eyes she's proud of how it all went down. The white creatures finally chilled out and just stood there around the group, barely moving. Their friend sits back in the snow, finally able to breathe easy, clearly glad that mess is over. She notices how smart the protagonist is, saying he really knows how to turn his blessing into something dangerous. The older sister just taps her friend on the head, not letting her get away with doing something dumb. She puts her hands up on her head, kinda embarrassed, and tries to say sorry, letting everyone know she's not planning to mess up like that again. Not long after, the sister heads over to take a look at the explorer's body that got left behind. She checks and lets everyone know the guy's really gone, no coming back. The main character just stands there, taking it all in. The protagonist's friend pulls out a blue star pearl, pretty hyped about it, explaining that both shamans actually had one, so he scored big. He takes a deep breath, making sure the guy isn't around anymore before he goes for the item. His sister lets him know how serious it is. She's got to pull the pearl out of his brain, or else those monsters are straight up coming for it. The MC can't believe it. These girls act like they're just heading out for ice cream, totally chill about the whole thing. His older sister tells him to hurry up, since those other white ghosts are about to show up again. While they're making their way through the snow, they come across the whole explorer squad. Everyone's just laid out, not moving. Sweat dripped down his face as it hit him. Every single person in that group was gone. The three of them stumble onto the captain from the explorer team, but now he's just lying there dead. He suddenly gets this nasty feeling in his gut and has to cover his mouth, trying not to puke after seeing something that messed up. The older sister thinks it's their own fault for what happened, since the shaman cub already had a mark on it. Wherever they tried to escape, those white monsters would just keep coming after them. She keeps going, pointing out that they probably would made it if they just left the cub behind. Their friend starts griping about how they barely have any star pearls left and wonders if they seriously didn't stash any away. His sister figures they must burn through all their energy just trying to escape those white ghosts. Right then, glances over at the MC and tells him to check out this human pearl she's got. His sister looks at him and wonders if he's not creeped out, since that pearl literally came from a person. He thinks it's just like a monster's, except you can't absorb it, so it doesn't really matter. Out of nowhere, a system pop-up shows up right in front of his face. The screen picks something up just as his eye catches the glow from the purple pearl. He just stood there totally frozen, since everyone always told him there was no way to take in human pearls. The pearl in his hand suddenly lights up, blasting out this deep purple energy that looks crazy strong. He stares at the screen in front of him, packed with a wild list of skills he can fuse together or absorb. He grinned to himself, thinking those two techniques together would honestly be perfect for him. He turns toward the girls, and his sister's face shows she's not sure what he's about to drop. He realizes there's something about the pearl, it's got this vibe, like it's packed with medical skills. He starts thinking maybe he could actually pick up those skills just by absorbing whatever's in it. Just walks off, leaving both girls totally stunned. Neither of them says a word, they're just frozen, trying to process what just happened. His sister just stares at him, not really buying that he can actually pull moves out of a human pearl. Was honestly impressed and wondered if he only noticed the healing moves, or if the other abilities stood out to him too. He decides to keep it to himself, just telling everyone he's more sensitive when it comes to medical stuff. He points out that they're all on the same side, so the pearl should go to. Grinned and pretty much told him to go for it. If the plan worked out, she'd have someone solid on her side. He doesn't hesitate, he just smashes the purple thing in his hand, letting all that power burst out at once. Suddenly, this insane burst of purple energy blasts out from the guy, lighting everything up around him. His eyes lit up, locked in and focused, as he pulled all the energy from the star pearl. The girl stood there, eyes wide, not expecting that much power to just drop all at once. Just stands there, totally frozen, when she sees he pulled off getting another dual skill. At home, his older sister hangs up her jacket, just settling back in. He stops and stares at a family photo hanging on the wall, just taking it in for a second. Not long after, she checks out another portrait. She looks calm, staring at the photo of her parents, almost like she's letting them know she's finally back where she belongs. She holds up the picture and notices how much the main guy has grown up. She can tell he's got some serious talent, something you don't see every day. He suddenly cuts in, letting everyone know he's heading to his room to drop his bags and grab a shower. His sister stands there still holding the picture frame, just watching as he heads back to his room. Sadness showed up in her eyes. She checks out the photo and tells him he's on track to be an awesome, just like the ones before him. Outside the room, his sister starts to question if she's actually got what it takes to keep him safe. He walks into his room and just freezes when he sees what's going on. Clothes are tossed everywhere and old food, just sitting out, making the whole place look trashed. He grabs a sock off the floor and instantly pinches his nose. Yeah, that thing reeks. He jumps right in and starts tossing trash into a big black bag, not wasting any time. After 3 hours, his computer desk looks spotless. The bookshelves lined up perfectly and the picture frame, totally empty, still looks organized. He flopped onto his bed, wiped out but grinning, feeling like he just crushed it for the day. He pushes himself up, realizing he still has to handle all the embarrassing stuff left behind by the last guy who owned this place. He reaches over and taps the power button on his PC, trying to get things back on track. He's on the computer and comes across a video of the last owner doing an intro. The dude on screen was hyped up, flexing about how he just awakened and calling himself the future god of the world. Hearing the dude admit he was straight up found in the trash, our guy couldn't help but cringe hard for him. He thinks his mom's name is actually pretty decent, way better than some names out there. He gets a little red in the face when he realizes his name actually came from the family's old dog that isn't around anymore. Out of nowhere, someone knocks on his bedroom door, catching him off guard. The guy spins around, caught off guard when he hears someone knock out of nowhere. His older sister was just standing in the doorway. She's chilling in her pink pajamas and lets him know it's time to eat with her. She freezes up as soon as she steps into her brother's room. She wondered if he was the one who cleaned up, and he just hit her with a proud thumbs up. Dinner's already set out on the kitchen table, looking pretty good and ready to go. His eyes light up and he gets hyped since all he'd been eating before was instant noodles. She scoops the rice onto his plate and casually mentions that's gonna come get him tomorrow. Before the actual military training starts, his sister lets him know they've got 5 days of special training lined up. He wonders out loud why he can't just join their training, since that would honestly help him get better way faster. She tells him he should step up and do something that'll make him stand out if he wants a shot at joining their squad. He didn't see this coming at all. Out of nowhere, this new thing just hit and he was totally thrown off. She tells him to grab some food, then lets him know her friends got the rest covered. Before heading out, she tells him he better get rid of those cringy posts, and he gets all awkward about it. At dinner, he hands his older sister a piece of meat. He can't help but grin, just thinking about how awesome it feels to finally have a real family and a place to call home. Once he's done with everything, he grabs the pile of dirty plates and heads over to clean them up. The MC steps up and tells his sister she should chill out for a bit. He's got the dishes covered. She looks at him, her eyes wide, clearly caught off guard but smiling like she's really glad to see him. He's at the sink getting through a stack of dishes from dinner, making sure each one's clean. He looks pretty chill, humming to himself while wrapping up the kitchen cleanup. He finishes up, tosses the dish towel back on the rack, and just stands there for a second, feeling pretty proud of himself. He looks over at the kitchen and spots something that grabs his attention. He heads over to the fridge and spots some family pics stuck on the door. He stands there checking out the old photos, looking pretty curious. He spots a photo of his little sister and just grins to himself, thinking she's actually pretty adorable. He notices his parents always looked pretty cool and had their own style. Right then, he remembers the parents of the guy who owned this body before him just vanished in some other world. Out of nowhere, someone sneaks up behind him and totally catches him off guard. She shows up totally hyped and just goes in for a hug with our guy. She's got this energy like she's been waiting for this, ready to take him with her. The main guy keeps moving, but he's kind of annoyed because the girl won't give him any space. He really wishes she'd chill and not stay right up next to him all the time. He keeps complaining about how she's just barely older than him while they pull up to a door. Inside the apartment, there's this guy rocking a trench coat, just standing by the window, keeping an eye on what's going down outside. He sneaks a glance through the curtain, eyes narrowed and totally on alert, like he's trying to catch someone in the act. He'd actually been keeping an eye on the main guy and his friend the whole time as they headed out. When they pull up, there's this insanely modern building, and it turns out this is where lives. She reaches out and taps the doorbell button. She throws herself into a pose, hyped up and buzzing with energy. Not long after, a ripped guy with boxing gloves showed up and nodded at her. The friend points to the guy, letting everyone know he's the new trainer for our hero. After 5 days of training, she tells him it's time to head over to the school and try to get picked. He wants to stand out from the rest of the students so he can make the team. En knows he has to prove himself if he wants the leader to notice him. To wrap it up, she grabs his phone and lets him know he won't be seeing it again until training's over. His friend smiled and let him know his food would get dropped off, then said she was heading out to catch some sleep. While all this is going on, she decides to chill out and run herself a bath, just taking a minute to relax. She steps out of the bath and grabs a white towel, wrapping it around herself. She looks totally refreshed, like she just hit reset. She grabs a towel and starts drying her hair, still smiling like she's having a good day. She steps out of the bathroom and spots the MC's phone, just chilling there where it was left. Right then, she gets this sneaky idea that she can't ignore. She flashes a sneaky grin and starts humming, already planning her next move in her head. At the same time, the hero's buddy is at the gym, going all in on the punching bag, not holding back at all. She throws a strong punch at the bag, showing just how locked in she is with her training. She keeps going non-stop. After a bit, she wraps up her training and slips off her gloves. She wipes the sweat off her face and thinks the MC's probably grinding just as hard somewhere. His routine switches up a bit, since N hooks him up with a solid meal that's actually good for him. He sits there eating, face all twisted up like he's doing something wild just to get on the team. Right then, a jacked dude kept an eye on him from across the way. The trainer remembers how this kid gets up at 4 a.m. every day and grinds non-stop until 9 p.m., just putting in serious work all day. He never lets up every day, he just powers through his tasks and puts in real effort, never holding back. Most people would probably lose it if they had to deal with training this, at least that's what the instructor figured. He's never run into a kid this tough before. Shine's family lives in this huge fancy house that seriously stands out. Inside, the girl's dad just stands there, totally stunned by what he's hearing. His wife looks at him, wondering what's got him all riled up. 4 days back, her dad let it slip that she had a guy over at the house. The mom lights up, super hyped, and starts wondering if her daughter's crushing on someone. He points out that she already recognizes him and lets her know he's actually the main guy from the Han family. When the woman hears the guy's name, she just freezes up. She starts raising her voice, saying she's not cool with this relationship at all, and her husband jumps in, making it clear he feels the same way. Cheyenne's dad holds out his phone, letting her see exactly what's going on for herself. The screen shows a post from the boy, and it's seriously over the top. He's hyping up their daughter non-stop, like every day, and it's just kind of embarrassing to see. Back at the gym, the noise of punches landing fills the air. He's right in the zone, grinding through his session. He's throwing punches fast, barely giving the instructor a second to react. The muscular guy looks at the kid and basically lets him know he needs to pick up the pace. He gets ready for his next move, determined to hit way harder this time. He swings hard, aiming straight for the instructor, who's already got his hands up, ready to block. He manages to block the hit, but the force still pushes him backward, making him slide across the floor. After the hit, he checks out our guy, trying to figure out what he's dealing with. The trainer watches his punch and can't help but be impressed. He gives him props, letting him know he really nailed it. He flashes a quick grin, clearly pumped about how things just went. Both of them lock eyes, sizing each other up. He's hyped because he just broke through the trainer's defense on his own. No powers needed this time. The man pulls the boy in and lets him know he's gotta stay locked in if he wants to make it. Right then, the housekeeper walks in and totally cuts off the training session. She hung out with a guy in a suit, and he was kind of hiding behind the wall, just checking things out. Shine's dad stands there, staring the main guy down with this intense look on his face. He spots the guy and knows right away who it is. 10 minutes earlier, the woman headed over to the door to check out who was there. She opened the door and saw the girl's dad standing right there. He looks around and wants to know where his daughter is. The housekeeper lets him know she's all right. The man finally hears that his daughter's all right, and he just wants to know if anything's different with her now. The housekeeper starts to get uneasy when he wonders if something in the place is off. She lets everyone know that the guy showed up 4 days back. His dad starts freaking out the moment the old lady drops some news on him. He still can't wrap his head around the fact that his own daughter straight up trapped his buddy's kid in their basement. Went ahead and got the boy his own personal trainer, at least that's what the housekeeper said. When the girl's dad hears about the training, he just gets more lost. The housekeeper calls him downstairs, telling him to check it out for himself. He nods and heads downstairs to see what's going on. When he shows up, he's honestly not expecting much, but the kid's actually out there putting in work. He spins around and instantly knows it's Cheyenne's dad standing there. The man's honestly pretty glad the kid still recognizes him after all these years. 10 years went by and the boy didn't forget. The boy just gives an awkward smile, trying to play it cool like he's got nothing to stress about. He figures that with how the original guy acted, it's honestly a miracle he didn't get thrown out right then. The muscular guy lights up when he sees the sunset, thinking it's the perfect time to fire up the grill. He lets the housekeeper know he's about to head out for some food. When he hears the word barbecue, his eyes instantly light up. The boy lights up, clearly excited, and keeps saying he wants barbecue as well. They get set to head out and grab some fire kebabs. He's chilling with just smashing those kebabs. Honestly, the food is so good it's got him locked in. Shine's dad keeps his eyes on the guy, watching him closely and not missing a thing. He thinks the guy's actually proud of how the boy turned things around, and he figures the boy's parents would be hyped to see it too. He remembers the parents who used to live here, knowing they've been gone for a long time. He starts wondering if anyone who gets lost in another dimension ever makes it back. Nobody really has a clue, her dad says. The portals are still this big mystery no one's figured out yet. He lets it out that the Pioneer Legion, the group the boy's parents joined, spends their time checking out these other dimensions. The scene shows the main character's parents and their crew, all geared up and ready to go exploring. Out of nowhere, these new portals just pop up in the middle of cities. The Pioneer Legion got started to check out these spots. They're always the first to jump into the portals and check out what's waiting on the other side. They're out there to check if the stuff and monsters in that place could actually help people back home. They gotta see if the monsters are actually way too tough, or if living there just isn't gonna work. So basically, from what they see, they either give the green light to check out the new world, or they just shut it down completely. Pioneers really put a lot on the line so everyone else can jump through these portals. He drops the news that this Legion squad is seriously the top threat out there, and wild enough the boys' parents used to roll with them. He's really hoping the kid steps it up from here and puts in more effort to make his parents proud. The guy wants to know which dimension his parents ended up in. In's dad gets caught off guard when the question comes at him straight up. He tells the boy he can't head over yet, but he can at least drop the name of the spot. Everyone just calls this wild spot the Dragon's Nest. He knows he's gotta level up if he ever wants to make it to that place and find out what really happened to his parents. Fist is locked in, showing everyone he's serious about making it happen. He keeps saying the name of the spot where his parents disappeared, almost like he's trying to make sense of it all. When the man noticed how the boy reacted, he started thinking to himself. He tries to switch things up and randomly asks when the guy's heading back to school. The reply comes quick, he's waiting for N to take him. The older guy points out that his daughter isn't holding back at all with the training. She's really keeping things tough. He jumps in right away, taking the blame and letting everyone know he was the one who wanted to level up the workout. The guy didn't expect it. He'd barely even talked about his daughter, and the kid was already stepping up for her. He totally misunderstands and tells the guy to stick to studying instead of worrying about girls. The main guy just stands there totally lost, trying to figure out what the older dude is even talking about. He wonders what kind of romance the guy's even bringing up. The guy gets irritated and calls him out for non-stop blogging about how much he's into N, saying he's been at it for 4 days straight. He grinned, finally owning up that he was the blogger who'd been crushing hard this whole time. But then he lets everyone know the girl actually took his phone away on day 1 of training. By the time day 5 rolled around, the main guy was still grinding through his training. He sits down cross-legged, gets focused, and kicks on his Starlight Power Boost skill. The system lets him know he's hit level 4, and reminds him that every 5 levels, things get way tougher to power up. The trainer lets him know they're done for the day and that he's got another client lined up, so he heads out after saying bye. Out of nowhere he spins around, totally caught off guard, and calls out her name. Out of nowhere, a girl with purple hair and a blue jacket showed up right in front of him. The guy wonders if she made it back from the snowfield already, and she lets him know she's home. She chucked a bag at him and right away, he wanted to know what was in it. She lets him know those things are actually called White Phantom Starlight Beads. Rips open the bag totally hyped. He can't believe what he's seeing and starts thinking if she really took out every phantom in the snowfield by herself. She wonders if what she brought is enough for him and even says she can grab more if he wants. He just froze, his whole face turning red after she did something nice for him. He finally catches on to what his friend was actually up to. He gets it now. She only went out onto the snow field because she wanted to grab those starlight beads for him. Right then, the boy gets all caught up in how nice she is. He just goes for it and pulls her into a big hug, catching her totally off guard. He smiles and shows her some real appreciation for always having his back. She gives him a quick pat on the back, kind of letting him know she's cool with his thanks. She just laughs and calls him a silly kid, making it clear he doesn't have to thank her for anything. She wraps her arms around him too, and that just makes everything feel even better. She stared at him all serious, waiting for him to clear up what was going on with those blog posts. She holds out her phone, scrolling through a bunch of pics where he's hanging out with. He watches what's happening and suddenly cold sweat starts running down his back. He starts yelling, saying the photos aren't real and he didn't put them online. The boy thinks Cheyenne dropped that post just to start drama between them. He could tell his friend already knew what was up. She just let out a sigh like she expected it all along. She points to the beads and says he should try them out just to see if he can actually level up. His stats popped up on the screen: bronze level 4. He still needed 6 more points to level up. He thinks back to how he made it to level 4, grabbing 2 beads off a hunter who went down and picking up 2 more from monsters he took out. He grabs one of the starlight beads from the bag, and it lights up in his hand, glowing bright. He locks in, eyes focused, and just smashes the starlight bead in his hand, letting all that energy rush straight into him. He grabs 4 beads and pulls them in all at once, then spends 2 skill points to level up. The system pops up saying he just hit level 10, and now his skills upgraded from bronze to silver. Out of nowhere, N checks in on his progress, but he shoots her a sharp look, clearly annoyed. But then he suddenly smirks, clearly cooking up a plan to get back at them. He lifts his hand, ready to try out his new blessing skill on her. Right then, a soft pink glow starts to surround the girl. She's totally lost, not sure why her body's acting so weird right now. Out of nowhere, her mind jumps to a tropical beach, sun blazing overhead. She catches a warm breeze and it's actually kind of calming. She suddenly realized her body was acting different, like something new was taking over. She feels like she's chilling on the beach, soaking up the sun and catching that perfect breeze. She can feel her energy coming back, like all the tiredness is just fading away. She's sitting there, smiling, just soaking in how good it feels. Back in the real world, she wrapped her arms around herself, thinking about how wild the blessing's power really was. His other friends started calling him out, but he just shrugged it off, saying he wanted to see if his new move actually worked. Next up, benching high school comes into view. In the car, his friend let him know that the school has a bunch of regular students, so he should chill out and not start anything. In starts messing with her friend, pointing out how she's been way more chatty ever since that guy started acting more grown up. She leans out the car window and gives him a quick wave before they drive off. The girls head off and let him know they'll be up ahead, waiting for him to catch up. He heads over to the school building, not really rushing, just moving along like it's another regular day. Dragging his suitcase behind him, he thinks back to when he had to fight just to stay alive out in the snow. He grumbles about being out of school for years, and now it feels like he's getting thrown straight into hard mode. He sits there, eyes watery, thinking about how much easier life would be if he just woke up in college already. The next day at school, he gets pulled into the disciplinary office. The teacher says his name and starts talking about how he's got 9-star slots. The professor wants to know if he started school late because he was out training in the snow. The guy just nods, letting him know that's exactly what happened. The teacher doesn't buy it and figures he's just trying to get out of military training, so she tells him to pull up his star chart. Just nods, a little grin on his face, clearly down for whatever's next. He snaps his finger and just like that, his power kicks in. The main guy's star chart pops up on the screen. The teacher just stands there, totally caught off guard, not saying a word. He suddenly figures out that's actually got 3-star powers and is awakened. He spots their blessing kicking in. A blue flash goes off with a chime, showing off some seriously strong skills. The teacher just can't believe it. He's trying to figure out how this guy ended up with 3 silver skills when blessing and blue flash are supposed to be brass tier. Explains that his parents left those pearls for him. Says they vanished during a mission 3 years back. The teacher wants to know who brought him out for training in the snow. He answers confidently, letting everyone know it was Han Jiangsu, his big sister. The professor gets it right away and remembers that he's part of the Han family, so that's why he uses his mom's last name. He kind of wishes he had more than 9 slots, but with 3 silver skills, 2 focused on healing, he knows he's a real asset. Everyone knew the guy was talking about how our hero basically ran things at school, then he just told him to follow along. When they get to the training grounds, a girl spots someone new and instantly starts pointing out there's a good-looking guy around. It's one of the first-year Class 2 awakened, and right now she's seriously amped up. Who's in his Class 2? Notices the coach is actually talking to him and points it out. Starts thinking about whether he's actually the guy from Class 2 who went off for that special training. Someone wants to know if the main guy is from Class 2. He lit up when he saw Lee, straight up hyped to call him Big Bro Lee. The professor looks over and wants to know if these two already know each other. Instructor told everyone he had been working with the kid for the past few days, but seeing him show up here totally caught him off guard. Director hit him up last minute, needing him to fill in because of some emergency. The coach signals for him to head back over to his group. While all this is going down, some students are just standing there watching. Someone shouts for grabbing his attention. The guy steps up and says his names. He's the class rep for Class 2 and lets everyone know he's down to help out. The classmate waves him over and wants to know how many slots he's got. He tells him he's rocking 9. Looks lost for a second, but the main guy just nods, letting him know it's real. The other student looks let down. He looks at our hero and just brushes him off, acting like he thought this guy was supposed to be something special. Turns out he thinks the hero's nothing, just some dude stuck with 9 slots, not impressive at all. He didn't see that comment from his classmate coming, and it totally caught him off guard. The whole group suddenly goes quiet, and you can just tell things got serious. The girls started thinking about whether this was going to turn into a fight. Tries to calm everyone down, pointing out that the school probably noticed how good he is. The student kept messing with him, pointing out that everyone had their eyes on who'd grabbed that final spot. In the end, it was clear. He was the one stuck at the bottom of the elite class, holding down the 9th slot. Pauses for a second, really considering what to say next. He grinned, letting everyone know he's not stacked with skills, but he's got that rare medical type power. Nobody says a word, everyone just freezes, stunned by what they just heard. He wonders if this guy's actually a medic, and he's waiting for their dude to back it up. The main guy steps up and basically dares the other dude to head over to the registrar's office with him, just to prove if he really knows what he's talking about when it comes to medicine. He thinks to himself that it would have been way better if he'd been told sooner, since now he just embarrassed himself in front of everyone. Suddenly yells out, calling for a doctor. He says sorry for getting so loud. She lights up, realizing that he's the only guy in all the first-year classes who's into medicine, and he just happens to be in their group. Her friend just stands there kind of out of it, barely nodding. The instructor lifts his whistle and gives it a sharp blow. As soon as the whistle blew, the instructor wrapped things up and everyone knew class was over for the day. The students headed off the field, packing up their stuff and making their way out. He heads down the hallway, steps steady, looking like he's ready for whatever comes next. He figures the school doesn't just run the usual classes. There's also some special stuff just for the awakened. There are 8 classes in the grade, and the school decides which one each student goes into. He showed up late, so almost all the squads were already set. He only had 3 days left before military training wrapped up. If he's serious about competing for the class, he's gotta reveal what he's got. By 4 a.m. the next morning, the sky's already starting to brighten up. Sprinted after Nana, breathing hard as she tried to catch up. The girl isn't thrilled about getting up at dawn to train, but's all about it, saying early mornings are when you actually level up. He's exhausted and he can't help but think about how weird it is. There's literally nobody else on the track, so who are they even racing against? He drops to the ground, totally wiped out. She just wanted to chill and draw her manga, not get dragged into this whole awakened mess. His eyes started to water because he was just so frustrated. Up ahead, some guys are out on the track sprinting hard. She spots her hero in the crowd and starts thinking, maybe he's grinding even harder than everyone else out there. He spotted the guy with white hair in the crowd, walks up to him clearly hyped and lets him know they're classmates. He slips back into his usual self as, out of nowhere, the girl reaches over and grabs his hand, totally hyped. She flashes a smile and asks if he's teamed up with anyone yet, then tells him he can roll with her group. She reaches out to shake his hand, kind of sizing him up, and wants to know if he's actually the doctor type. Promises her group's got a tank and a damage dealer, so he doesn't have to stress about getting hurt, they've got his back. Her friend suddenly showed up behind her, catching her off guard. Who's got hair and hangs out with, steps up and lets everyone know she's in the same class. She brings in Win and Wu, letting everyone know they're rolling with the squad too. Checks out the squad and figures they're set. 4 people means the lineup's already packed. He lets them know he appreciates the invite, but points out their squad looks full already. Doesn't see any issue with it. He just shrugs and says she can take the sub spot, since all she really does is hang out as the team mascot anyway. She starts thinking hard, realizing she only made the team because she's tight with. He thinks back to when he watched the twins train and knows they're seriously good in a fight. Thinks it's time to level up, so he figures teaming up with a solid squad will help him get better. Wen looks over and wants to know what kind of medical tricks the main guy has picked up so far. Wu steps in and interrupts, wanting everyone to chill and do proper introductions first. He pulls up his star chart showing off the fist type. He's got 20 open slots ready, plus 2 skills already set up. Goes ahead and lets our guy see what she can really do. She shows everyone her chart. It's got 2 1-star sections, 21 open spots, and 4 different skills. He always thought his sisters had talents you didn't see every day, but even he had to admit these dudes weren't just normal. They were easily better than most. He lets everyone know he's got 9 slots, and every skill he's got is at silver grade. Wen couldn't believe it when he realized he actually had 2 healing skills. His eyes snap open wide as he suddenly realizes what just came out of his mouth. He wants to know what level the skills are at, and our guy lets him know they're silver. Silver just stood there frozen after everyone started yelling at the same time. The news hit him so hard he couldn't even move. All the noise had him plugging his ears, super annoyed. He didn't expect the group to go wild like that. Out of nowhere, everyone rushed him, all trying to get him to take them along on his next missions. Still kind of nervous, tells everyone to just go with his name. Turns out, he realized getting a squad together was way simpler than he thought. The next day, a bunch of people showed up at the training field. One guy takes off running and swings, aiming to hit the other dude. The dark-haired guy just steps aside like it's nothing. He stands in front of him, smirking like he already knows he's got the upper hand, basically daring the other guy to show what else he can do. Right after that, he comes back strong and lands a heavy punch right to the other guy's stomach. A whistle blasts, cutting through the air. The coach raised his voice telling him to chill since he was going after another student. The guy just shrugged it off, basically saying he didn't finish the other dude anyway. Right then, one of his boys waved him over and nodded toward Class 1. The bully turns to look where everyone's pointing and spots our hero, just standing there next to. His friend recognizes the dude, and points out that he's the one from Class 2 who kept dipping out on military training. Flashes a sneaky grin, and it's obvious he just thought of something. After training wraps up, he gets his crew together and tells them they're all rolling out with him. He's got something planned for our hero, a welcome that's definitely not your regular intro. Training wraps up at last. The students are hyped that training's finally over. The girl gets everyone together and tells them it's time to hit the cafeteria. Suddenly realizes they never swapped numbers. She grabs her phone and wants to send the main guy a friend request. Nodded, pulled out his phone, and started saving her contact. Ga and his friend crouched behind a tree, keeping an eye on what was happening. The bully's buddy starts getting nervous, thinking they're actually about to hold hands, just doesn't buy it. He plans to hang back until the main guy is by himself in the cafeteria, then that's when they'll step in. In the cafeteria, the staff lets him know his meal card isn't working yet. The girls didn't even hesitate, they all pulled out their cards ready to cover his food. He appreciates their help but lets them know he'll deal with the card thing another time. The protagonist's friend nudges her sister, getting her to check out the protagonist, who's tight with the hero's sister, notices the guy's actually got a crew now. Sister Han Jiangsu just sits there quiet, watching everything go down. Grabs a seat at the table with his new crew, ready to dig in. Watch Chi walk over, curious if Chi's sister thought the main guy was catching feelings way too soon. Han Jiangsu just stares back, eyes cold, making it clear he wants everyone to back off and leave him alone. Didn't expect her to stay so chill about everything going down. His older sister lets everyone know that he wasn't always this chill. He used to act out and go against the rules a lot. Ever since she called him out that one time, he's been on a whole different vibe. She figures it's solid for him to hang out with kids his own age. Cheyenne just sits there, realizing she's stressing out way too much, kind of like one of those moms who can't stop worrying about everything. The main guy checks his phone while walking out of the cafeteria. He's about to let his sister know he's finally found some guys to roll with, but just as he's thinking about it, someone calls out to him. Spun around, not really sure what was going on. Showed up with his crew, asking him to come chill and go for a walk. He stiffened up as it finally clicked what the group was planning. They grab his arm and make him come with them, giving him no choice but to follow. He figures the reason nobody ever messed with him was because no one really noticed he was there. He gets pushed straight into a pitch-black room, shoots him a cold look and says his name straight up. The bully calls him out for hanging around the girl he likes. The hero wants to know who these people are. He pulls out his sword, ready for whatever's about to go down. He slams his foot down on the floor. He steps up and says he's basically the guy everyone knows as the boss of Class 1. So annoyed that someone would actually try to get with the girl he's into. He makes up his mind to show the main guy what's up and suddenly charges straight at him. He moves quick, just barely getting out of the way as the hit flies past him. Paused, realizing the name rang a bell. He slips out of the way just as another attack comes his way. He suddenly realizes that and have got to be related, they're probably from the same family. He locks in, getting dead serious, and starts thinking the dude might actually be out to end him for real. He just smirked and held his weapon a little, ready for whatever was coming. This dude starts flexing about how his family runs things, acting like he could just wreck our guy and nobody would even care. He flashes a quick, confident grin. He knows they're not supposed to be doing this at school. Just shrugs it off, saying he's only messing around a bit for practice. The bully's crew closes in around him, making it clear they're trying to mess with his head. Lets everyone know that he's actually one of those guys with healing powers. The bully's buddy just started cracking up, like he couldn't believe what he heard. The bully's friends just crack up, not even trying to hide it. He just shrugs, acting like it doesn't matter what kind of awakened is. To him, still weak since he's only got 9 slots. The sidekick steps up and tells the rest of the crew to go after the hero. The two dudes grabbed and held him down so he couldn't move. The hero grabs their arm and gives it a sharp twist. He gets slammed straight down onto the ground, hitting hard. The other friend totally loses it when he sees what happened, basically flipping out that the guy actually fought back. He gets ready to go after the next guy too. He swings and nails him with a solid punch. The hit landed hard and the guy coughed up blood right away. He got blasted back. He crashes straight into the wall, no time to slow down. He can't believe how strong our hero is. Everyone else in the class just stands there, not moving at all. He locks eyes with the bullies, giving them a stare that says he's not backing down. Moves fast with his blue flash, closing the gap and nailing the bully with a strong kick. He steps in and throws a straight punch right at another dude's jaw. He gets heated and starts shouting, thinking our hero is way too gutsy. He locks eyes with him, not backing down for a second. He uses his blessing skill and targets with it. He lets go of his sword, letting it fall to the ground. He just stands there totally still like he can't move at all. He could feel his face heating up, turning red all over. The bully suddenly starts sweating, totally confused about what's going on. The main guy suddenly pops up right behind him, rocking a creepy grin. Swings and nails right in the face with a clean punch. He thinks the dude acts like he's top dog just because he's got power and everyone knows his name, but that doesn't mean he can just walk all over people. So while the guy's down, he just starts throwing punches, not holding back at all. Yi tries to get him to chill out and threatens to go straight to his brother about it. He just shrugs it off, saying this is all just warm-up. If someone is going to mess with others, they better be ready for payback. One of the bullies guys suddenly yells out, saying his ribs are messed up. He wonders if it's actually true, what he just heard about someone trying to flirt a little. He lets them know everything's cool and there's no reason to stress. With a grin, he lets everyone know he's got medic skills and can patch up all their wounds. The school's just chilling under the sun, everything looking calm and normal. One of the students let his sister know about everything that was going on with him. Han Jiangsu sprints down the street, hoping everything's still chill. She blasted the classroom door open with one strong kick, not holding back at all. The older sister suddenly tells everyone to chill and says it's her fault for not keeping an eye on her brother. She walks in and just stops, totally thrown off by what's in front of her. Jiangsu spots the busted sword lying on the ground. The student who showed up with her looks around, wondering if they got there before anything bad happened and checking if everyone's okay. He steps into the room and just freezes. Whatever he sees totally catches him off guard. The protagonist's sister walks in and spots all the bullies knocked out on the ground. She starts looking around for, hoping he shows up. Sees him and rushes over, checking if he's alright, clearly concerned. Han Jiangsu lets everyone know that the communications officer from his class mentioned seeing him get pulled off by some other students. She noticed his last message still sitting there with no reply, so she decided to go find him. His older sister sees that he's alright and just feels this wave of relief. She tells him to get back to training, saying she's got everything else covered. He doesn't really get what's going on. He really believes she isn't hiding anything. He shrugs it off, acting like there's nothing going on. He says everyone's good and if she's not buying it, she can just check with the others herself. One of the bullies jumps in fast, trying to play it cool, and says they were just practicing with Brother Pai. The guy sees as some kind of monster. He'll beat you down, patch you up like nothing happened, then turn around and do it all over again. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the school, stands in the hallway, tears streaming down his face as he looks around, searching for his brother. He grumbles that our hero's blessing skill honestly felt more like a curse. The guy points out that the main character broke the sword his brother gave him, and now he wants payback. His older brother reminds him to stay locked in on training if he wants a solid rank, and to chill out so their mom doesn't get bothered. Started tearing up and his brother just nodded, promising he'd hook him up with a new wooden sword soon. His older brother lets everyone know that out of all his little brothers, is the one who matters to him the most. Zhongshan waved to his older brother and headed off, ready to get back to training. The bully's brother zones out, his mind somewhere else. He thinks back to his brother who never really did anything useful. Somewhere else in the city, the hero and his crew are just chilling and grabbing dinner together. The girl says sorry to him for pulling him into all this trouble. She doesn't see any problem with her friend getting attention. She thinks it's normal. She's convinced just being a jerk and honestly deserves to get called out to the teacher. He figures there's no reason to snitch, since this is just something guys handle themselves and he already took care of it. When one of the twins thinks they totally had it coming, he's set on teaming up with his brother from now on, ready to back him up whenever it's time to throw down. Both twins are on the same page and decide to stick together this time, not wanting to risk getting caught solo again. He gives props for hitting up Senior Hand when things got tough. Everyone at school knows that Hand belongs to the squad commander, the guy everyone looks up to. He's basically a legend on campus. The hero just drops the news that Han is actually his sister. His friend hears this and is honestly caught off guard. It's not something he ever saw coming. His sister runs the school. She's basically the top girl and leads the strongest squad around. Totally loses it when he finds out the ice goddess is actually his sister. He's staring at all these random titles, totally lost, and can't figure out what ice goddess is supposed to mean. The main guy brings up that his sister's crew isn't exactly getting along right now. Can't believe what he's hearing and wonders if getting into the squad is even possible since there are just 9 spots. Thinks it's tough, but he knows it's not out of reach. His sister really wants to see him step up and stand out during the training. He shares that he's the only guy in his year with healing powers, and honestly there aren't many like him in the whole school. Points out that since he's a rare medic with 3 silver skills, the teachers are definitely going to notice him. She tells him he should start looking out for himself, especially since his sister's crew is always running into risky stuff. He smiles, letting her know he's got her back just because they're family. He says sorry because if his plan actually goes through, he won't be able to stick around with their squad anymore. Nobody says anything for a second. Wu just watches his brother kinda zoned in, like he's really trying to figure him out. He smacked the table and let know that if he thinks this is the right move, then he should go for it. Win nods, letting him know they're brothers for life, and he's got his back no matter what choice he makes. He's just checking if they're still cool with him, or if anyone's actually upset. The girl let him know she wasn't trying to stop him or anything, she just cared about what might happen to him. Wu thinks the others are just using him, since he's the one carrying the team and boosting their rank. Couldn't help but tear up, thinking it sucked to lose someone who was actually a beast at healing. Guys like that don't show up on every squad. Her friend starts messing with her, acting like she's just bummed out since she won't get to be the sub again. The main character nods at everyone, letting them know she appreciates them, then turns to and makes it clear his reward is actually going to her. She just shook her head, making it clear that his stuff was his, and she wasn't about to take any of it. Lifts his soda, thinking there's no prize out there that could top having his friends around. He coughs hard after nearly spitting out his drink, and his friend just shakes his head, not impressed by how extra he's being. 3 days passed and the freshmen finally kicked off their competition. Up in the stands, a group of girls started checking out the new freshmen, pointing out which ones they thought looked cute this year. Someone else got their phone out, recording everything, while the rest are busy dropping comments in the live chat. Su-ru is a third-year student who's always recording what's going on around her. Out of nowhere, one of the students calls her attention to the field. Out on the field, a kid from class 1 stood there with lightning just circling around him for a whole hour. He just got zapped hard and now he looks seriously pissed. His opponent stands ready, holding a sword in one hand and this glowing ball of energy in the other. The kid from class 1 just gives up right away. The winner turned around looking pretty unimpressed, like the whole thing was just way too easy. Class 1 ends up taking the win, takes notice of just how solid the guy's silver grade star skill is. It's clear he's not just average, his skills are actually legit. She notices that this year's freshmen are stacked with talent. One of the guys glances over his shoulder, scanning the area like he's looking for something he just lost. He finally spots the guy he's been searching for. The bully spots, points straight at him and shouts his name out loud, making sure everyone hears. He basically tells to get ready because something's coming his way. The crew turned around to check what's behind them. The guy's got this look like he's out for payback, totally set on making things tough for our hero once they face off in the arena. Just stood there totally lost, not getting what was going on at all. The bully's older brother noticed right away that their younger brothers weren't getting along. He lets the hero's sister know they're up against each other in the next round. His older sister just tells him to be quiet. She shoots him a deadly look, basically telling him to chill out and stop talking. The guy backs off and decides to listen to Commander Han. He's mostly thinking about her brother and can't help but stress about it, but if she's not down to talk, he'll just drop it. Out of nowhere, the sister's friend reaches over and puts his hand on the guy's shoulder. She slides past them, squeezing through with a quick "excuse me." She walks over to the proto-sister, wanting to know if the first-year finals are already going down and where set. Lets everyone know their game is right before the third-year finals. Pulls out her phone and starts recording. She thinks back to that dude repping Class 2's team. She remembers how he did in the last fights, replaying those moments in her head. Last time, the guy barely showed up. He just stood there and let everyone else handle it, watching as the others pulled off the win. The main guy and his crew barely had to try. They took the win without breaking a sweat. Figured the twin brothers were pretty much carrying him the whole time. After the game, one of the twins mentions everyone can actually vote to kick his team out. Can't help but stress about the hero since he already took down. The dude reaches over and picks up a water bottle. Mentions that people are aware our hero has the blessing skill, but no one really gets how strong he actually is. She grabs her water, takes a quick sip, and feels ready. They're about to pull off something nobody saw coming. Notices that he is actually pretty strong and probably didn't take our guy seriously before. The main guy lets everyone know their team's assassin isn't just quick, but seriously dangerous for him. He knows got serious firepower. She can take out the bad guys in one shot no problem. Points out how the explosive flame move takes forever to power up, so dodging it isn't hard, and if you're not careful, it can even mess up your own team. The hero figures that once they lock these guys down, landing hits is gonna be a breeze. He lays out what's next. It's about to power up with some crazy fire, and he's gonna drop a health boost on whoever dives in first. It's time for Class 2 to go up. The instructor just called their group. They head back to the arena. The crowd in the stands started buzzing, everyone hyped up and ready for the next fight to kick off. The announcer steps up and lets everyone know that Class 1 and Class 2 are about to go head-to-head. Everyone's set, so the announcer calls the crew up to the stage. Up on the second floor, a few students are locked in, watching the competition go down. One of the instructors watches with a nervous look, clearly not sure how things are about to go down. One of the instructors wants to know if he's the only new guy this year who got medical powers. He wanted to know what was up with our hero's star chart. The professor points out that it's shaped like a spoon and mentions that the boy actually knew some medical stuff even before he started going to this school. He lets everyone know the boy's last name is he got it from his mom. Turns out he's actually Han Jiangsu's brother. The director finds out the guy's actually from the Han family in the Pioneer Corps, and he just freezes. That's the last thing he expected. He grins, thinking the Han family's got another dude with some seriously promising hair. The professor, rocking his glasses, notices that the boy is nothing like his sister. He points out that Han Jiangsu's just built different, already stacked with 56 star slots, while the main guy's stuck at only 9. The director isn't happy at all and starts yelling when just 9 stars show up on the screen. Off to the side, 2 instructors are seriously going at it, each blaming the other for trying to steal the star student with some pretty shady moves. Over on the court, things start to heat up when the teacher calls everyone to the middle. The students know this is it, the match that's gonna settle everything. The gym gets way more intense as their squad lines up against the other team, both sides hyped to show what they've got in this practice match with the coaches watching. Walks into the arena with his crew on one side and their newest teammate on the other. He looks locked in, and you can tell the other teams are already feeling the pressure. Right before things kicked off, leaned in and quietly told his friend what to do. He wanted her to launch 2 big blasts with her fire power as soon as the match started. The dude hesitated for a second, not sure if going this hard was cool since someone could actually get hurt. But the other guy just stayed ice cold and reminded him this wasn't some friendly spar, it was the real deal. He gave her this serious look, already thinking a few steps ahead. He knew the attacks would go off so hard that the ref would have to step in, which meant easy win for his squad. Then he threw in a sly grin like he was saying, "Don't stress, there are school healers ready," so they could just go all out. His nerves were on edge and sweat started to show from all the pressure, but she still went all in on the risky plan, putting her trust in her new strategist to lead the way. The hero keeps pace with his crew, already pretty sure that always acting like he owns the place will be the first to rush in. The whole squad's ready for it, waiting to see him walk straight into their setup. The girl can't help but wonder how he's so sure. She wants to know how he already knows the enemy's moves before anything even goes down. Right then, he sets his hand softly on her shoulder. Wasn't ready for how close he got. When he leaned in and their arms brushed, her face went red instantly. Knows his rival too well. The guy's always acting before thinking, and there's no way he's about to hold back now. The enemy totally loses it and just yells out the hero's name like he's about to go off. The ref blows his whistle and the game kicks off just like that. The ref throws up the red flag, not holding back, and just like that, the fight everyone's been waiting for kicks off. Doesn't hesitate, he whips out his blade and charges straight in, ready to throw down. He goes all in and drops his star map, making it clear he's about to take everyone out. Everyone in the stands just froze for a second, not believing he went all out straight away. The whole place couldn't believe he'd actually shown his real strength from the jump. Everyone could tell that when a physical fighter pulls off a move like that, he's not messing around anymore. He's locked in and taking things to a whole new level. Blue lightning covered his whole body as the rival sprinted at the team, looking straight up unstoppable. The squad stuck together, keeping their positions locked in. Steadied herself, taking a slow breath. Her eyes lit up gold, locked in on her target, totally zoned in and ready. She pulls up her twin 1-star map and starts working her magic. From up high, the guy sprints straight down the court, totally fired up and not thinking straight, walking right into the setup without even realizing it. The team's tank squints, sizing up the gap in front of him. He's locked in, just waiting for the other guy to move a bit closer before making his move. Takes off, moving so fast that streaks of light follow behind him. He's locked in, cutting down the space between him and his target like it's nothing. Right then, his teammate notices a chance and lets everyone know it's go time. The protagonist lifts his hand up and sends out his signature move, Blessing. This bright pink light shoots right at his opponent, not missing a beat. The rival gets hit with this wild energy out of nowhere. He just freezes up, totally lost, and has no idea what just went down. The opponent's heart starts pounding and his legs go shaky right away, realizing just how weird the main guy's healing really is. The second the rival just stands there, frozen, the team's tank doesn't waste a beat. He's all in, signaling his buddy to drop the main attack ASAP. He doesn't waste any time, face set, totally locked in. He lets everyone know the magic's charged up and ready to go. She goes all out, sending huge blasts of fire straight through the air, locked right onto the swordsman who's just standing there, totally caught off guard. The flames crash down at him, no hesitation. The enemy suddenly snapped back to reality, clearly pissed off that he just got played by a rookie. He started yelling, mad at himself for falling straight into that setup. He can't react fast enough. Suddenly, this blast of light and fire just takes him out, lighting up the whole gym and making the place shake like crazy. When the dust finally cleared, the girl with pigtails froze up, stumbling over her words while she tried to figure out if the hit actually connected. Out of nowhere, her face loses all color and she starts sweating, like her body just knows something bad is about to happen. Out of nowhere, a silver dagger suddenly flies through the air, coming in fast for a crucial spot. The whole move is dead quiet and sneaky, like someone's really locked in on their target. While everyone was distracted by the blast, the other team's assassin slipped through all the chaos and suddenly showed up right behind their mage. Her eyes gave everything away. Panic set in as she spotted the enemy moving in, blade up and ready to end her run right there. Out of nowhere, a tough memory pops up for her. She's way younger, struggling to keep her grip on these heavy buckets, doing her best not to lose her balance. His instructor wasn't letting up, pushing her hard and making it clear that mages can't just mess around. They've got to be strong and know how to handle themselves. Tears started building up in her eyes, but the little girl nodded, trying hard to keep it together. She made up her mind not to let herself break down, just so her friends wouldn't have to worry about her or slow down because of her. Right now, the assassin's got his sights set on the fire mage, who's totally not paying attention. He instantly picks up on the danger and shouts out, trying hard to get his friend's attention before things go south. The rogue suddenly snapped out of it and came back to his senses. Because of all her training, the move's fast, grabbing her weapon tight and getting ready to react instantly. She, seeing things getting wild, grabs her flaming staff and throws it up to stop the attack, The whole arena shakes from the crazy loud impact, and everyone's attention is instantly on her. He just stands there totally frozen. Everyone in the crowd, along with his friends, just froze for a second, trying to process what they'd just seen go down. Nobody really got what just happened in that wild moment. Out of nowhere, the attacker backs off, catching this weird icy sensation that shoots through her. It messes her up, leaving her dizzy right in the heat of the fight. When he saw what just happened, the hero couldn't help but grin, impressed at how his friend stepped up and gave him the perfect window to make his move. In that quick second, he just reached out and hit the enemy with his hidden healing move before anyone even noticed. The blessing smacks the assassin right in the chest, and she starts shaking hard, barely able to keep it together. Pink light wraps all around her, and it's obvious she's struggling to handle it. The opponent's face turned bright red, and she was out of breath, barely managing to stand while this weird healing vibe washed over her. He jumps right into action, telling his partner to go for it and drop 2 fire blasts. Catches the order and her eyes light up with focus. She gets ready to land that final hit on her enemy, totally locked in on the moment. The rogue freezes up when she spots the attack coming, her eyes going wide. That toxic healing's got her stuck, and she can't do anything to dodge it. The mage doesn't hold back at all. She just blasts her opponent with fire right up close, not even hesitating for a second. The hit lands hard, setting off a burst of gold light that shakes the whole arena and tosses anything close by into the air. The ref saw how bad things got and didn't waste any time. He just pulled out the red flag, shutting down that student's run in the match right then and there. Once the smoke fades, the girls just laid out on the ground, totally done for and out of the game. Everyone in the crowd totally loses it when they see a mage throwing hands up close, and it hits them hard that's actually the healer in the squad. Everyone started talking, not really believing what just happened. He actually healed the enemy just to mess with her. Most of them agreed those two were wild together, like a straight-up toxic duo, and honestly way too off. A girl with bright red hair keeps an eye on everything, not really buying what she's seeing. Whenever someone gets healed by the main guy, she notices their bodies act weird, and it just doesn't sit right with her. Back on the field, the rest of the squad holds their spot, not planning to back off anytime soon. They're ready to throw down, showing no signs of giving up. The last 2 teammates sprinted ahead, determined not to let the mage take all the spotlight. They take off running straight at the last guy still standing. He starts landing clean shots on one of the other guys, each hit connecting just where he wants. Only one person was left standing. The other team's captain sees his own guy get launched and just frowns, knowing he's stuck fighting these 2 by himself now. His pride took a hit, so he started yelling, telling the hero to quit all that annoying healing stuff and face him straight up, no cheap moves. Doesn't back down at all and just pops up right in front of him, like he's got zero fear. The healer agrees to go without magic, giving his rival a confident look. He's clearly remembering that they've already thrown hands before. Right then the bully's face goes blank. He remembers getting wrecked in the storage room, and you can tell it still messes with him. He decides to send the guy a message, tossing in a couple of quick slaps for good measure. He takes hits from every angle, messages coming straight at his face, then his stomach not letting up. He's seriously good at giving massages. Dude even throws in his leg, like he's got his own secret technique. One of the guys from the losing team's class totally freaks out in the stands, yelling for the ref to put an end to the beating happening on the field. The ref doesn't even flinch, just calls out that the match isn't over because the rich kid's still awake and hasn't given up. The main guy grabs his opponent by the collar, but even though the pretty boy looks totally wrecked, he's still running his mouth and throwing out threats. Hears it and just lets out a disappointed sigh, thinking the young master really only knows how to complain and talk big. He's not backing down, so the healer just locks in, pouring everything he's got into his fist, ready to take out the rival once and for all. He just doesn't budge no matter what. The swordsman hits his limit and just drops, totally done after getting worked over. He's not getting back up this time, but what happened taught him something he won't forget. Seeing his leader get absolutely wrecked, the last guy on the rival squad totally loses it. His legs just give out and he drops to the floor, terrified and not even trying to get up. The dude instantly gives up, throwing his hands in the air, basically admitting defeat before our guy even gets near him. His hand shakes up in the air, pretty much giving up, cause nobody around wants to get wrecked by a healer who throws punches like a truck. The last guy standing glances around and clocks that his whole squad is gone. Now it's just him surrounded by the protagonist's crew, and he knows he's basically got no shot. The ref sees it's over, so he lifts the flag and lets everyone know his team completely crushed it. The whole place claps and the win just feels right. Class 2 loses it, charging onto the court and hyping each other up, all convinced they're the top dogs after their friends just went off in the arena. His friends are all around her, hyped up and giving her props for how tough she was in that wild fight. Everyone's still buzzing about how she handled herself when things got real. The losers just tried to disappear, not wanting anyone to see them, while everyone else can't help but admit that this duo is on another level. Seriously, nobody wants to mess with them now. Upstairs, the teachers kept a close eye on everything, kind of surprised at how well the rookie was doing. For someone new, he was seriously outperforming what anyone thought he could pull off. The teacher in the black uniform looked annoyed, noticing was letting some personal beef mess with his game plan. Plus, the way he healed up seemed off, definitely not your usual move. The other teacher pushes up his glasses and lets everyone know the boy's blessing is silver tier. It's got a weird twist that messes people up with those strange symptoms. He's honestly caught off guard. Mutations and star abilities just don't happen. This is the first time he's actually seen it go down, and he can barely believe it's real. The other guy rests his hand on his chin, really trying to figure out how this student, who everyone thought was nothing special, ended up pulling off such a rare skill. People started talking about how the boy's parents were total legends, so his strength kind of made sense. Still, nobody could figure out how he pulled off getting that kind of power when he really wasn't supposed to be able to. The hero throws out a sarcastic grin, looking over at his teammates. Even though things are tense, he brushes it off, joking about how someone's bad luck just means someone else scores. He's not taking the moment too seriously, almost like he's trying to keep everyone chill. Out of nowhere, loud footsteps hit the wooden floor, making it obvious that someone annoyed is about to show up and say something to the group that just won. The leader's brother from the team that just lost walks up to the main guy. The loser's brother starts freaking out, pointing right at the medics taking his knocked-out brother away, and basically blames our guy for going way too hard. Just ignored everything, chilling while cleaning his ear. He looked totally uninterested, almost like he was wondering if they just decided to become the ref or something. The rival just stands there totally lost, not getting what's going on. The protagonist steps up and drops the truth. He's not some ref or anything, but a legit pro psychic. He shoots the bully a sly grin, almost daring him, and throws out if he should just read his fortune for the whole squad to see. The hero steps up, points right at the guy's face, and basically calls him out, wondering who this dude thinks he is, showing up and making demands. That pushed the opponent over the edge. He got fired up, charging up some serious energy in his hand, set to throw down right on the court. Right as things are about to go down, the instructor shows up out of nowhere. She blows her whistle loud enough to make everyone jump and tells everyone to get back to their spots, shutting things down quick. No one's messing around on her watch. He knows he has no choice but to follow orders, so he gets annoyed, turns around, and heads out, trying to keep his cool. Right before heading out, he lets everyone know he's planning to face off with their healer during the afternoon tournament, ready to finally settle things. The scene jumps to the cafeteria. There's a tray stacked with food, because after all that went down, nobody's throwing hands on an empty stomach. He goes all in on the food, packing his cheeks full like he hasn't eaten in forever. Out of nowhere, someone grabs his attention, and he just freezes mid-bite. A brown-haired dude pulled up to the table with a grin, carrying a tray. He said his name was, and he was on the same team as the hero's sister. Pauses with his food, eyeing the guy across from him. He suddenly remembers this is the dude who got into it with that cocky rival earlier. He wonders if his sister ever brought this guy up. Mouth still full, he checks the dude out, trying to figure out how a guy that good-looking ended up out here, ready to get wrecked. The guy stands tall, looking like he's ready to jump into any fight for his crew. He's clearly all about having their backs, pretty much saying he's the one who'll take the hit so everyone else stays safe. He can't hold that pose for long. Suddenly, he starts shaking, seriously thinking he'd take on monsters any day over turning around and catching Mad, because honestly she's straight up scary when she's angry. He's got his mouth full, kinda lost, because honestly his buddy just seems laid back to him. He can't figure out why the tank's freaking out around her. Li Wei just brushes it off, not really wanting to talk about it. He lets them know he showed up undercover, only because he wanted to check out who their next teammate would be. He looks dead serious as he drops the news. Their families already talked to the principal about getting the main guy on the team. Now everyone's got their eyes on him, expecting big things. The hours disappear fast, and when the camera pans up to the blue sky, that's the sign the break's done. Now it's time for the main event in the afternoon, the big showdown at the academy. Inside the prep room, the hero's sister just chills, super relaxed, whilst in the zone, stretching out and getting ready to step into the arena. She stretches out, showing off some serious flexibility. She looks locked in, totally focused, getting prepped to show everyone what she can do. The announcer lets everyone know the battle is about to kick off. On the other side, the loser's brother hears the call and heads straight for the entrance, his face locked in and looking ready to settle things for real, just like he promised earlier.
Lately, I've had a strong addiction to watching manhwa and manga recap videos. Every single day, I find myself binging one after another, losing hours and days doing absolutely nothing productive. And honestly, it's getting out of hand. So, maybe we can make these viral videos too. I mean, look at the views, the growth, the community these creators are building. It looks simple, right? But that's a trap. You go down this endless rabbit hole, spending money, losing sleep, hiring editors and writers from Fiverr and Upwork, and still feel like you've been robbed. Because don't forget how emotional the YouTube algorithm can be with making videos go viral. It's unpredictable, especially especially when the market's saturated, competition's relentless, and somehow other creators are dropping 10-hour videos daily while you're stuck trying to finish one. That's when I realized something had to change. So, I built the solution, the Web2 Narrative Suite, a complete one-click system that handles everything from cropping, script narration, text-to-speech, image processing, and full video generation in one smooth process. Save money, reduce hours of work, and have a tool that only gives you straight results. Click on the link down below and experience it for yourself. And if you want even more tools to supercharge your YouTube recap journey, visit my Ko-Fi and Patreon pages where I drop weekly new tools designed to keep you ahead as AI continues to steal our jobs. So tap in now before you get left behind.